Hey guys, welcome back to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath Holland, and this is our latest complete look at every release coming from Kino Lorber and Kino Lorber's partner labels. We've got 2 new 4Ks. We've got some really great cinema here, and I'm excited to talk to you guys about it. You know, December kind of is it's a winding down month. It's the month with all the holidays, and so there tends to be not as much. This is a smaller stack than what we're used to talking about. But I will say thank you to Kino Lorber because these videos have become such an important part of Serial at Midnight. You know, Serial at Midnight is your #1 source on YouTube for certain for all things Kino Lorber. I've talked to Frank Tarzi 3 times now, the man that makes these releases possible, giving us a peek behind the scenes. And we've got over 50 Kino Lorber spotlights here at the Serial at Midnight channel. And complete coverage, month after month, complete coverage. It's all because of you guys. You know, Kino Lorber sends this stuff for me to show you, but if you didn't turn up, if you didn't show up to watch these videos, I wouldn't be able to do this. So thanks to you guys, thanks to Kino Lorber. We got a lot of ground to cover here, so let's launch right into it. The first of our new 4Ks is Face Off, John Travolta, Nicolas Cage. This was such, my memory is that this came out around the same time as Con Air. And I was working the video counter at that time, and it was just such a great time for Nicolas Cage fans. This is a fun movie. It's John Woo. It's huge. It's over the top. It's a lot of movies stuffed into, like, was it 2 hours and 19 minutes? It's a lot of movie. It may be too much movie. I'm not sure, but I love it. I got a huge, like, I love this movie. I've seen this movie so many times. The question you want answered is, how does this look on 4K? I mean, it looks great. This is a great example of what I want from a 4K. You know, there have been recent examples like American Graffiti, unfortunately, that had all the grain removed from the image. And I'm already hearing rumblings about these new Cameron transfers. You know, Titanic looked great, but I'm seeing reports that Aliens, no grain. Thankfully, Face Off has the grain. It's shot on film. It should have grain. Film is made of grain. The image that we see is made of grain. And it's not overpowering, but it's definitely there. I see no evidence of any DNR. It's a thick grain. It's a thick grain, guys. But I love it. That's what I think a movie's supposed to look like. You know, here's what I know about you guys. Here's what I know about you. Is that the younger viewer that's grown up in a digital era prefers clean, crisp, just no grain whatsoever. Because that's what they're used to. My generation that grew up watching movies in theaters that were shot on film, when they would project film, you know, we're talking about the 90s, you know, before the Phantom Menace revolutionized digital in theaters, projected film. This is what movies look like to me. This is what cinema looks like to me. So much to the point that when I watch a newer movie that's shot digitally, it kind of feels like a TV movie to me. And I know that that's not necessarily fair, and I have to adapt to that, but this is home base. Movie shot on film. This is a great 4K. I love it. It's the new standard for me. It's a new 4K scan of the 35mm original camera negative, HDR Dolby Vision. This is the reversible art wrap. The other side of the art wrap looks like this. And there's a bunch of special features, multiple commentaries, 7 deleted scenes, the making of John Woo, A Life in Pictures. So it's loaded up. We have another 4K, Suspect Zero. This is another one. 2004, I think it was, so it's kind of after the prime, what I consider, like, we're getting closer into the digital era with this one. It's Ben Kingsley, it was Aaron Eckhart, Ben Kingsley, Carrie-Anne Moss, another 4K scan from the original camera negative. Hold on, did these both come from Paramount? They do. And, you know, we've had some hit or miss stuff with Paramount too, because they... Saturday Night Fever comes to mind. Like, some of these transfers just seem a little bit revisionist, but I'm happy. I feel like they're listening. I feel like what we're getting here represents progress, you know. So this is, again, 4K scan, 35mm original camera negative. This did not have alternate artwork. I should talk a little bit about the movie. This is a thriller about hunting a serial killer. Let's see. Featuring cinematography of Michael Chapman from Taxi Driver, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's stunningly original and audacious, says the Los Angeles Times. And there's a lot of, there's a 4-part documentary, 4-part making of documentary here. What did Frank Tarzi say in the last interview that I did with him, which was like 6 weeks ago as this video is going up, that moving forward in 2024, there's going to be like at least 4 4Ks every single month. Oh, you know what? I should also mention that Columbo is a December release. I covered it in my November coverage because I had it ahead of time. Columbo is hitting shelves in December. This is, I think, the 5th time I'm talking about it in a video, so I'm not going to... It's actually by the TV, so it's not even here. Also, Monk Season 2 is releasing in December. I don't have that here. We talked about Season 1 in the last video. They're going to do 1 season a month until they've put out the whole series. Season 2 hits in December. I don't have it here. So we got 3 re-releases here of titles that have previously been released on Blu-ray by Kino Lorber. Went out of print. Now they're back in print. Better. They're improved. Running Scared, House of Long Shadows, and the Quatermass Experiments. You know, I talked to Frank about this too, because I was like, you know, there's a lot of conspiracy theories that you're just putting these out so you can put a slipcover on them. And he was like, it's crazy. It's ridiculous because this gives them the opportunity. What I'm going to remind you guys is that the market in December 2023, the market is drastically different than it was even a few years ago, a couple of years ago. Like, the pandemic changed everything. Titles that did not sell, or maybe didn't sell a whole lot in 2020 or 2019 or 2015, now do so much better now because it's a different market. The boutique market has really replaced the mainstream market. This is what's driving collector sales. And so these movies have a new life, and so they get to kind of like Kino Lorber's taking another shot at these better encodes. Used to put them on a Blu-ray 25 disc, 25 gigabyte disc. Now they're putting a lot of them on Blu-ray 50s, so double the space, so better transfer, better compression. They'll do new commentaries. So it's just, and you don't have to buy them just because they're new. This is something a lot of fans forget too. Everything's not for you. If you already have the movie and you're happy with the movie, nobody's asking you to buy this again. The fact that something becomes available again is not a shot at you. New fans enter this hobby every single day. So now everybody has a chance to watch Running Scared, which is a fun comedy cop movie from the director of Bustin', which is Busting. I guess that's my Southern coming out. I just want to say, Bustin' makes me feel good. Ghostbusters 2 changed how I think of that word, Bustin'. So Peter Hyams directed it. It's got Gregory Hines, Billy Crystal. It's got audio commentary. It's got a Billy Crystal outtakes reel. A lot of cool stuff there. Did this have... No, did not have alternate artwork, or I would have reversed it to show you. Another re-release that I have all 3 of these, the previous versions of these. So, House of Long Shadows, a movie with a lot of balls. If you've seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. I don't even know if I should elaborate because I don't want to flavor anyone's viewing opinion of this movie, like how they approach it. It's got balls. It does something really bold. This is a great cast, horror legends. It's Vincent Price, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, John Carradine, the horror icon Desi Arnaz Jr. No, I'm just kidding about the last one. But it's all these guys in the same movie, working together, camping it up, having a lot of fun. I mean, it's not a comedy, but it's definitely kind of over the top. They know what they're in. So it's fun. I really like this movie, but it does something that I honestly don't know how I feel about it. And that's all I can say. That's all I can really say without spoiling anything for you guys. So we got a couple of audio here. No reversible artwork. A couple of audio commentaries. The documentary of the cast and crew. Interview with Pete Walker. And then the last of the 3 re-releases, I think that's the last of them, is the Quatermass Experiment. You know, I talked before about how 2023 has been such a great year for 50s sci-fi, horror, Cold War paranoia movies, that specific mid-century. I always think of The Iron Giant, which is an homage to those kinds of movies. They walk the line between sci-fi, horror, like those, you know, it came from outer space, that kind of a thing. This year, 2023, we've gotten so many of those movies in beautiful restorations. So this has already, again, it's a re-release, but now more people have a chance to grab it. I do recommend that you do grab it. It's got a ton of stuff. It's got an interview with John Carpenter, the John Carpenter, a reversible art wrap right here. And Gary Girani. We've got, 2 audio commentaries. One with Val Guest, the director. An interview with Val Guest. But this is a Hammer movie, by the way. Hammer, huge Hammer fan. 2 featurettes here. Alternate main title, theatrical trailer. Beautiful, beautiful edition. The only way it could be better is if this was in 4K. I don't even know if this... It doesn't even say what the scan is. So that leads me to believe there is no 4K scan of this movie. The Man Who Wasn't There 3D. This is a fun 1980s, 83 3D movie starring Steve Guttenberg. Who else is in this? It's got Jeffrey Tambor, Art Hindle. It is a 3D movie that's it's just a lot of fun. And this is the latest restoration for the 3D Film Archive, who are friends of Serial at Midnight. Bob Furmanek and his team have been here multiple times over the years to talk about what they're working on, to promote some of their projects. Robot Monster, right? That's one of the ones that came out of 2023 that I love so much, but made possible by a lot of work from them. And this movie has got you covered no matter how you watch 3D movies. So if you got it's got the 2D version, it's got the 3D polarized version, which is going to be the version that you watch on a 3D TV with a 3D player, and it's got the red and blue glasses, the anaglyph version. So however you watch a 3D movie, you're covered with this one disc. We've even got the red and blue glasses here. It doesn't come with polarized glasses. You should already have those if you have a 3D TV, but I think that's really cool. And so we got audio commentary. We've got the glasses. They've got you covered here. Very, very cool. Wait a minute. Did this have 2 pieces of art? No, it did not. Okay. So I've heard from a lot of you guys that are like, it's great that 3D movies keep coming out. Like we keep getting these beautiful restorations of 3D movies. The Ballad of Little Joe. Now this is a movie I've never seen. I'm intrigued by the cast. We've got Susie Amos, Bo Hopkins, and Ian McKellen. This is 1993. Written and directed by Maggie Greenwald. Seems like something that I would enjoy. It's got that like auteur kind of a tone to it. We've got audio commentary with the director and the cinematographer, and an interview with the actress. I always love Ian McKellen outside of fantasy and sci-fi movies, I guess. The Questor Tapes, TV movie, Gene Roddenberry. Let's see, 1974. Teleplay by Gene Roddenberry and Gene L. Coon. Gene L. Coon is deeply associated with Star Trek, the original series. Just talked to the producer of the executive producer of the Bonanza box set, and we talked about how Gene L. Coon was instrumental in writing some episodes of Bonanza as well. There's a lot of pedigree behind there. So the fans who know Gene L. Coon and Gene Roddenberry already know. But Gene Roddenberry is all over this. Teleplay by Gene Roddenberry, Gene L. Coon. Story by Gene Roddenberry. Executive producer Gene Roddenberry. And it's directed by Richard A. Cola. Or Koya. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. So we got a new audio commentary. Or I don't know if it's new. Audio commentary by film historian Gary Girani. It's a new 2K scan. A new HD Master 2K scan of the 35mm interpositive. That's cool. I don't think this had... No reversible artwork. Amanda Reyes... TV movie historian. I know that she's doing a little happy dance right now because we have another TV movie on Blu-ray with a new scan. It's kind of rare. Here's another thing that I've talked to Frank Tarzi. This is what Serial at Midnight is able to do because I've had these conversations. I can tell you factually, it's not an opinion, it's a fact. Frank Tarzi told me in the video that these TV movies don't sell as well as he wishes that they would. They're not burning up the charts because people don't know. They're kind of an unknown quantity because if you haven't seen these movies, you're like, do I spend $20 on Pray for the Wildcats? First of all, you do. I think that's in the Wild Supply's last sale, actually. Or whatever it is, get it. It's a great TV movie. But TV movies often kind of fall between the cracks. They don't have the critical respect and they don't have the cult appeal that like the horror movies tend to, or even some of the other genres like noir. They kind of fall in between the cracks. So whenever we get a new one, rejoicing. I for Icarus, another movie I have not seen, and I should probably limit what I say about it because I'd just be guessing. It's from the partnership with Gaumont. I think here's two. Both of these are from the Gaumont deal. Both of these are Henri Vernuel. I'm probably mispronouncing it. That's okay. I'm trying. Both of these they're both here. That's the point. They're both here. And because I don't know a whole lot about French cinema outside of, some of the masters, the new wave masters that we talk about. And even then, can't speak, couldn't talk for an hour about some of that stuff. So this is interesting discovery for me. All right, we're going to move into some more indie stuff here. Made in Hong Kong. This is one of Hong Kong's best indies. says the New York Times, and the Time Out magazine says, fresh, truthfully observed, and touching in its honesty, a striking achievement. The first independent film released in post-handover Hong Kong. Director Fruit Chan's atmospheric shoestring budget character study is a rough and ready piece of artwork, shot on grainy leftover 35mm short ends. I think I talked to Fred Olin Ray about short ends when I interviewed him, because whatever you have left on the magazine of 35mm film, you can cut that, you can piece that stuff together. You have film to shoot from, but the problem is it tends to be, it's leftover film. On the city's overcrowded, subsidized housing projects, the result is a tough, pessimistic film, a portrait of a city on the brink that follows the drifting of a high school dropout and wannabe. Here, I'll hold this up if you want to read the rest. The LA Times says a raw, virtuous work released just as Hong Kong was changing hands. I mean, that sounds great. Similar. Hop over to Japan, Tokyo Pop. This is an 80s movie, 88. This has got there's a Carrie Hamilton, Diamond Yukai. It's about a beach blonde wannabe rocker, Wendy, Carrie Hamilton. As disillusioned with her life in New York City, she ends up in Tokyo and forms a relationship with this guy, a band. It's that story told through an underseen gem of 80s American independent cinema by Fran Rubel Kazooie, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Angel. If you're a Buffy fan and Angel fan, every episode, it's like produced by Fran Rubel Kazooie. Anyway, Tokyo Pop takes on a breezy tour through the bubble-era Tokyo, replete with knowing nods to the city's vibrant culture. It's a new 4K restoration by Indie Collect, created in association with the Academy Film Archive. Funding from Dolly Parton, Carol Burnett, the HFPA Trust. I was having a conversation about Dolly Parton with my daughter today, because she's a huge Dolly fan. And donors to Indie Collect's Jane Fonda Fund for Women Directors. Goodbye Dragon Inn. Hold on, what is that? The greatest film of the last 125 years. That's some high praise right there. It's like people that say Oppenheimer is the most important movie of the last 100 years. Like, well, don't put pressure on it or anything. Good luck living up to those expectations. So, 4 stars, the Boston Globe. Gorgeous. Full of mystery and feeling. It's an action movie that stands perfectly still. Like the Royal Theater and the Last Picture Show and the Title Movie House and Cinema Paradiso, the Fuho is shutting down for good. The Fuho's valedictory screening is King Hu's 1967 wuxia epic Dragon Inn, playing to I'm just reading to you guys. I'm so sorry. I just caught myself reading to you guys, and I'm so sorry. We don't do that here. I mean, sometimes I will read a little bit for me. I never want to just like lecture to you guys. What do we got here? A short film from 2019, audio commentary, introduction by Nick Pinkerton, and a re-release trailer. What year is this? Don't see a year here. Anyway, we move on swiftly forward. The Exiles. Here's another one that's 1961. This is just about the most gorgeous restoration of an American independent film I've ever seen, says Jonathan Rosenbaum from CinemaScope. Any other quotes here? Miraculous has an epic grandeur and a monumental intimacy, says Richard Brody of The New Yorker. Sherman Alexander and Charles Burnett present The Exiles, a film by Kent McKenzie. Chronicles one night in the lives of young Native American men and women living in the Bunker Hill district of Los Angeles. We've got 4 short films directed by Kent McKenzie, including Bunker Hill from 1956, audio commentary with author Sherman Alexie and critic Sean Axmander. Last Days of Angel Flight. This is a short film. It's a ton of stuff here. Now, I've said it because we draw such a widespread audience here. If you never had access to a video store that carried this kind of stuff, this is why a lot of this stuff I'm like, I don't know anything about this. We're all limited to what we have access to. So some of you guys may know this from the festival circuit or from repertory screenings or from the art house scene. I don't have any of that. I don't have any of that. All right, Story Avenue. Luis Guzman. This looks really, really good. I love Luis Guzman when he plays more serious roles. I like him in comedic roles too, but winner of the Best Cinematography Prize at South by Southwest. It's a moving portrait of South Bronx, an exciting new voice in Aristotle Torres. Let's hope Aristotle Torres doesn't get sucked into the franchise blockbuster machine, because my goodness, we see it over and over and over again. Great auteur voice, new on the scene. Congratulations, you made a great movie. Would you like to direct the next Marvel film? I mean, look, I know it puts money in their bank account, and they can maybe do the one for me, one for them. But I just feel like every time that happens, we've lost something. Subject. This is from Greenwich in association with Kino Lorber. This is a documentary about documentaries. It's an interesting premise. Now, I haven't watched this yet, but the premise of this is that the documentary focus on someone changes how we view that thing. And they've tracked down stars of past documentaries to ask them to talk about how the documentary changed their life, for good and for bad. So, featuring the protagonists of The Staircase, Hoop Dreams, The Wolfpack, Capturing the Freedmans, and The Square, as well as the filmmakers of Minding the Gap, Camera Person, and Inconvenient Truth, and more. It's like, in the golden age of documentaries, who benefits? That's the question. That's interesting. Then it also kind of ticks the anti-establishment bias that I have. It feels, it's like, ooh. It makes me, it's like, perks my ears up a little bit. I'm like, go on. A Towering Task. This is the story of the Peace Corps. I know some. I was talking, when this came, I was like, Bree, my wife, I was like, Bree, look, this documentary about the Peace Corps. She's like, I know someone that was in the Peace Corps. I was like, oh, do they want to watch this? And she was like, they don't have a DVD player. I said, do they have a gaming system? She said, I don't think they do. Puts a human face on the Peace Corps and makes the sense of history of idealism, improvisation, politics, and at times its failings in the most coherent and satisfying documentary I know of the Peace Corps, and I can't imagine a better one, says Paul Theroux, travel writer and novelist. So, documentary on Tom Wolfe. You know, these are DVD, but at least we get them on physical media at all. Probably, I'm sure you can find them digitally as well. Tom Wolfe was at the forefront of reshaping how American stories were told, recognized the importance and overlooked subcultures and communities, blah, blah, blah. Wolfe's body of work includes the most memorable cultural, impactful stories of the 20th century, like The Right Stuff, The Bonfire of the Vanities. We all know those. A Man in Full. It's a deeply personal and illuminating look at the man inside of the famous white suit, featuring conversations and interviews with those who knew him best, including Michael Lewis, Jan Wenner, no comment, moving on. Gay Talese, Lynn Nesbitt, Terry McDonald, then it's under the Made in Mexico, the disc Made in Mexico thing. So anyway, 76-minute documentary, that's probably going to be pretty good. This has been these documentaries that I've discovered, 2022, 2023, they're usually very, very interesting. Fact is stranger than fiction most of the time. This is the last one, guys. I saved this for last because I know you. Redemption, a new Redemption cinema entry. This is Far from the Apple Tree, directed by Grant McPhee. This is a new movie. It was 2019. So Judith is a struggling art student who lands a dream job working for a renowned and somewhat sinister visual artist. Her work involves cataloging the artist's video footage, and in doing so, she discovers film footage of a young woman, the artist's dead daughter, who looks exactly like herself. What? We got extras. We got, interview with Roberta Bittersweet, music video. Maddie. Okay. Hold it up. Yes, it's DVD, not a Blu-ray. All right, that's going to do it for our December haul. Smaller than some, but we've got some really great stuff there. 2 new 4Ks. What do you guys think about Face Off? What do you think about Suspect Zero? What do you think about some of these documentaries? I would just love to continue to talk about the movies, less about the format. I'm really not so interested in that anymore. These physical media releases enable us the opportunity to explore cinema. That's my interest, not debating DVD or Blu-ray or 4K. I'm more interested in talking about movies and stories and the people that make them. I think maybe a lot of you guys are too. So let's double down on that. Let's do that. Thanks to Kino Lorber. Remember, you can find all this stuff at Kino Lorber's website. There's an Amazon link in the description of every Serial at Midnight video that if you use that, you do support Serial at Midnight. So if you choose Amazon, please go through that link because I get a small commission from every sale made through that link. That's one way to support Cereal at Midnight by changing nothing. You're already supporting, you're doing the shopping you're going to do already, but you're using my link. That helps. It really helps. So I appreciate you for doing that. Thank you for watching this video. You made it to the end of this. Wow, the last Kino Lorber video of 2023, but 2024 is bringing some exciting new developments, and we're going to be there together. We got, I'll go ahead and tell you, like, as I'm recording this, the two latest entries in the Kino cult line, they're next to my TV. They're downstairs right now that we're going to talk about in January. So it's a lot of cool stuff happening, and we're going to be there for it. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Take care. Till next time, I will catch you later.